right. Are you okay? Good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hi guys. I'm Claire's dad. I don't know if you guys remember me. I came in for a birthday party. And I'm here to show, well, my name is Paul, if you don't know my name. I'm going to show you guys some percussion and drums today. Alright? Is that okay? Alright, cool. Alright. So when I was your age, this is a picture of me with my first drum. Playing my drum. I had a little plastic drum and I used to hit it and I lost one of the sticks. So as you can see, I'm using a spoon from the kitchen on one hand. But I wanted to grow up and I wanted to play drums when I was a little kid. And I did. I ended up going to school for music, and now my job is to sell music around the world. So I stayed with music, and playing drums got me through my career. So when you grow up, you can play music too. Alright? Cool.
I got a cat piano.
You do? That's great. See, you guys probably all have musical instruments at your house.
Has electric piano.
Amazing! Cool. So today we're going to talk about drums and percussion.
And I have a piano.
You have a piano too?
I have a piano. I have a piano.
Wow, you guys all have lots of instruments.
I do.
Griffin, do you have a drum set? Cool.
I have stuff even better than drums.
Cool! Alright, let's look at drums today. Does anybody know how drums work?
Yes, I do.
How do they work? How do they work?
Just bang them with sticks.
Bang them with a stick, right. Drums and percussion make noise by banging things with a stick. Kind of. They make noise by when you hit something together. Like this. Everybody do this. Ah, you guys just played the drums. Your hands came together and they went, and they made a loud noise, right? But we have other instruments that can make loud noises, and they all smack together in some way. A lot of instruments make vibrations. That's how you hear things. Can we do a vibration together? Can you guys all hold hands? Can you guys all hold hands right now?
Good.
Alright, we're going to start over here with Jet. You're going to start wiggling, alright? You're going to start vibrating. And when you start wiggling, you start wiggling. And when she starts wiggling, you start wiggling. And just do this. Just sit in your seat. Don't get up or anything. But as you feel his arm go, we're going to go all the way around the room. Alright? You ready, Jet? Go for it. Start wiggling. Okay, we got our vibration. We got our smack. Who's wiggling next? Keep going. Keep wiggling. Keep wiggling. Do you feel a wiggle? All the way around. Are we wiggling? We just made a vibration. You guys just did it. Alright, you guys want to see some drums make some vibrations?
Yes.
Alright.
Play that drum.
So, drums are one of the earliest instruments ever. They're one of the earliest instruments. In fact, some people believe that we used to talk before we knew how to talk. But way back in the caveman days, we knew how to talk with drums before we knew how to use our mouths. Let's try this out. I'm going to play something right now. And you have to tell me whether I'm happy, sad, angry. Alright? You ready? I'm going to play something right now. I'm not going to say any words. You just tell me if I'm happy or sad or angry. Alright? You ready? Angry! You got it! I just talked to you through my drum. Alright. I'm going to play something now. And you got to tell me if I'm happy or sad or angry. Am I sad? Is that a sad sound? Kind of a sad sound, maybe. Is that a sad sound because that means you have to come in for recess? But it's kind of light, isn't it? It's kind of like a fairy. It's kind of happy. It's a little happy, huh? Kind of like a little tickle, right? So we just talked with drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So let's go look at some drums. Let's look at some really cool drums today. Let's start. Yeah, we're going to show you it all. You're going to play them too. Let's look at this drum right here. Anybody know what this is?
A cymbal.
A cymbal. Very good. Very good. Now the cool thing about a cymbal is you can watch the vibrations. A cymbal is made from a big sheet of metal. And then they pound on it with a hammer. And then they smooth it out until it sounds really pretty. Cymbal is a really cool instrument. You can watch how it vibrates. Now, just as Jet's doing, if anything gets too loud for you, just put your hands over your ears. Alright? Alright, so we're going to take these sticks right here. Now watch the cymbal. anybody see it vibrating? Does anybody see the sounds? Do you guys see it? Yeah. Cymbal. And you notice, listen.
Scared a bit?
It's very quiet. But then it can get really loud. So you see those vibrations. Now let's look at some other drums. Now let's look at this drum. This one. Does anybody know what kind of drum this is? No, this is a very special drum. It's called a snare drum. It's usually used for marching. You guys just marched from outside into here, right? Dun, 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 dun. Well, when a lot of big groups of people march, they need to know how fast to march, and they invented this drum. And this drum is very special. I'm going to play it for you real quick without the special stuff. Listen. It's pretty cool, right? It's a cool drum. It sounds good, you know, a little bonky. But this is the magic of the snare drum. It has these little wires on the bottom. These are called snares. I'll show you them. You see the wires?
Yeah.
Now if I tighten those wires against the bottom, then it makes a really cool noise. You ready? Do you think you guys could hear that? Lots of people marching around? Yeah, that can help you, right? You can get in step.
I heard it.
You definitely heard it, right? He definitely heard it. Jack can totally hear it. This is a snare drum.
That's what my ears were.
Very cool.
They were open.
They were.
That's why you heard it, huh?
So a snare drum has snares, but it also has these things that you hit. You see this place that I hit right here? It's called a drum head, and it's stretched across the drum so that when I hit it, it makes a sound. It vibrates. This moves up and down really fast. Just like when you smacked your hands together, this drum vibrates. Yeah, exactly. Let's look at another drum that has a drum head. This has a real drum head on it. This drum head is made out of animal skin. This is actually how they originally made drums. They took animal skins and they pulled them as tight as they could across the drums. Play this drum with your hands. This is actually made of clay. So they made a clay. You guys have worked with Play-Doh or clay, yeah? They made this out of clay and they hardened it. They painted it and they pulled an animal skin across it. This I think is made of water buffalo. And then when you hit it, and you can kind of see it, that it makes sounds. Now it makes interesting sounds when you play it on the floor. Right, the sounds, the vibrations need to get out the bottom. And when I lift it off the ground, you can hear them coming off the bottom. So this is another really interesting drum. This comes from like Africa and South America. This has a water buffalo head. Can you believe that? All right, let's look at another drum. Let's look at one of my favorites, the cowbell. And as we know, you need more cowbell at all times. This is a cowbell. This is actually a bell that a cow would wear under its neck. And it had a little clanger inside so you'd know if the cow was wandering off, because it would just sit there. But this actually makes a really cool sound. It's a big piece of hardened metal, and you hit it with a stick. The harder something is, sometimes the louder it is, and the higher pitch. But it cuts through too, right? It's a really loud sound, and you can kind of keep the beat with it. Right? Now, do you guys know what a beat is? A beat, you guys listen to music and you dance. The beat is how you feel. Oh, there he is. He's dancing right there. The beat is what you feel, right? And in music, we play beats. And what we do is we use this as a little metronome. It makes sure that you stay in the beat. It's a little computer that teaches you where the beat is. So there's my beat, right? Everybody wiggle. Wiggle. Right? And there's my beat right there. Now this little computer teaches you where the beat is, but once you play music with your friends, you just feel the beat, like the way you guys dance, right? Okay, let's look at some other stuff. This right here is what they call a tom-tom, and it's very similar to this drum right here, right? It has a head that's stretched across the wood. It's a little bit wider and a little bit flatter. You see how this one is meant to be played with your hands? Fits my hands. This drum is meant to be played with sticks, so we're going to play it with these sticks. These have a little softer tip on them, yeah.
Well,
you play it
I
like
love
this?
that stick.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
I
It
have
looks.
that toy.
You do. It looks very similar to this drum right here.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I have that toy too.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have a stand.
But listen, the same drum, almost the same thing. Very similar, but it doesn't have any snares on the bottom. You see that? So it doesn't make the snare noise. And it also makes different noises when you want it to escape. You can play it real soft, and you can play it real loud. All right, this is a tom-tom. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. Now this is going to throw you for a loop. These are called wood blocks. Does anybody notice a problem here with my wood blocks? They're not made out of wood. Originally, wood blocks were made out of wood. But when you hit things all the time that are made out of wood, sometimes, you know, they don't last very long. So now they make wood blocks out of plastic, so I guess we'll just call them blocks. But wood blocks come in two different sizes, and you use this to kind of keep the beat going. Right? These wood blocks are little things you hit, and the difference in the size, do you see how the difference in the size makes the sound different? Look at the small one right now. Now look at the bigger one. So the bigger block makes a deeper noise, and the smaller block makes a higher pitched noise. Can you guys all make a high pitched sound like this? Hi! Can you make a low pitched sound like this? So we have a high block and we have a low block. Right, this is our block.